Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Manic Monday. It's actually the last Monday of the summer, if you can believe it. We switched to fall this week. Feels like we had summer for about 5 minutes. It really was one of the most bizarre summers. For some of us, we had really bad weather. Rained here in Calgary right up until July. I think we got summer for about 3 weeks in August, and now we've sort of crash landed into fall. The trees here are already starting to turn, depending on where you are. It's approaching. Just for some of you, you get a little longer fall than others. What I wanted to talk to you about today is doing that thing that you're afraid of. I'm going to be embarking on that over the next couple weeks. I hope you'll tune in for some of that. More to come later on the thing that really scares me. But how do we do that? How do we approach something that we're absolutely terrified of, especially on a Monday morning, and get it done? Because too often in our lives, that thing that's intimidating or scary or that we don't think we can do, or we're not enough to do it, or we don't know enough or have enough, that's the thing we actually really need to do. We really long to do it. And I'm going to embark on something that I'm really excited about, but I'm also really terrified of. And so how do you get to that point where you just move through it? And I think there's a couple things that play into that. And the first one is you have to stand in it and recognize what it is. Geez, I'm really afraid. And I'll tell you, I'm feeling very anxious and afraid because I'm going to be making some big announcements over the next couple weeks and sharing some things with you that I have not really talked out loud about. And so I'm really excited, but I'm also really scared. And then that little voice in my head is saying, I don't know if anybody's going to listen. Maybe they don't want to listen to you. Maybe they don't want to hear what you have to say. And sometimes it's that little critical voice that really does stop us dead in our tracks. So we have to hear it first. I think that's really the most important part. You have to hear that voice, as painful as it is. And then you kind of have to step back and recognize that's not actually true. There is somebody. I do have value to add, and this thing that I want to talk to you about is actually really important, and I think it could be really valuable for so many people. So I really had to look at it through a really critical eye. And then I think the third thing is to approach it one little step at a time. You know, they talk about how to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. And the truth is that's exactly what you have to do. If it's really big and it's really scary and it's really intimidating, you got to move forward one little bit at a time, one little step at a time. And you got to take deep breaths along the way. I think that's the other important part. And then step back and recognize, geez, look how far you've come. So for me, giving me my own advice this morning, I'm going to be making some big announcements about how high voltage coaching is transforming over the next few weeks. Some of you already have a little insight into that. And that's really scary for me because this is truly my life's work. And so I'm going to be talking to you about some of those pieces and what that looks like, and who I want to work with. And so making a big announcement about that stuff is really deep and personal for me. And it's really terrifying. But I'm going to do exactly that. I'm recognizing that I'm feeling a little anxious, a little scared, a little excited all at the same time. I'm going to take some deep breaths and I'm going to eat that elephant one bite at a time. So hopefully that helps you have a much more magical Monday. Have a great week, everybody.